Welcome to the class 7 students. This is the continuation part of the chapter, uh, the classification of the living world. In my previous video, I explained to you till the drawbacks of two kingdom classification. I hope you have understood till that portion. Today I am going to start with the five kingdom classification. This five kingdom classification came only because scientists got to realize that the two kingdom classification was not means a proper one, and there were many drawbacks. So the two kingdom classification was discarded around the middle of the 18th century, and then next came the five kingdom classification given by R.H. Whitaker. Okay, so let's talk in details about the five kingdom classification. So students, here you can see the five kingdom classification given by R.H. Whitaker. He suggested the five kingdom classification where he divided the entire living world into five kingdoms. Okay, so you can see in this picture all living things divided into five kingdoms. So what are the five kingdoms? Monera, Protista, fungi, plants or plantae, and animals or animalia. Okay, so these are the five kingdoms which come under the five kingdom classification given by R.H. Whitaker. Now this classification was done based on a few things. What are those things? First is cell structure, whether the cell is prokaryotic or eukaryotic. Second is body organization, whether the organism is unicellular or multicellular. Thirdly, the mode of nutrition of that organism, whether the organism is autotrophic, that means they can prepare their food or not, or they are heterotrophic. Autotrophic means they can prepare their own food, and heterotrophic means they cannot prepare their own food. Okay, now we will talk in details about each of these kingdoms and their characteristics, few examples under those kingdoms. Okay, so let's start. Let's start with the first kingdom, kingdom Monera. As you can see, it is written here. Now I will read the characteristics from the book, and I will show you how these characteristics are related with this picture. This is a classic example of an organism of kingdom Monera. Okay, so let's read from the book. Kingdom Monera consists of the oldest, simplest and primitive organisms. They are present almost everywhere, even inside our bodies. Okay, they do not have a defined nucleus or other cell organelles, thus they are prokaryotic unicellular organisms. So here you can see this is the nucleoid or the DNA within the nucleus, which does not have any nuclear membrane. No nucleolus can also be seen. It automatically makes this organism a prokaryotic one, and you can see that it is a unicellular organism, that it is made up of only one cell. Okay, now like plants, some of them have an outer covering called the cell wall. Here you can see the cell wall is there. So firstly, this is the nucleoid or the DNA. In prokaryotic organisms, the nucleoid is the one which is not bound within a nuclear membrane, and then we have the cell wall. The cell wall protects and gives shape to the cell, for example bacteria and blue-green algae. However, some others do not have a cell wall, for example mycoplasma. Next is their mode of nutrition, which is mainly autotrophic, since they can prepare their own food. For example blue-green algae, and some organisms under kingdom Monera are heterotrophic as well, which cannot prepare their own food, for example most bacteria and mycoplasma. Okay, next characteristic we have is that they are usually non-movable. However, some have thread-like structures called flagella. Here you can see a flagellum, this big structure, big locomotory organ flagella, but they are generally non-movable, although they have means they do not locomote, they do not change their location, but this flagella is for their movement. Okay, so this is the basic characteristics of kingdom Monera. Now we are going to study about bacteria, which also comes under kingdom Monera, and under bacteria we are going to learn more details about bacteria. Okay, now let's see, in your book you will find a detailed study on bacterias. Bacteria are minute unicellular microbes. Their size varies from 0.2 to 100 microns. Each bacterial cell may exist singly as one single bacterium, like in here. Wait, I'll show you. So like in here, this can be one single bacteria, but here you can see many single, they join together to make a polymer type of structure. So each bacterial cell may exist singly, or sometimes they cling together to form chains or groups, like in the second one that I showed you. Based on their shape, bacteria can be of different types. Firstly, rod shaped or bacilli. So this one is a streptobacillus, is the rod shaped structure. This one is also a rod shaped bacteria. In your book you will find examples of lactobacillus and E. coli, Escherichia coli, which are rod shaped bacteria. Spherical or cocky, spherical is this one. Okay, this one is a spherical Streptococcus pneumoniae. Okay, next you have the spiral shaped or spirilla bacteria, which is the Treponema pallidum, this one. Next you have the comma shaped bacteria, which is the Vibrio cholerae, this one. Okay, Vibrio cholerae, comma shaped or Vibrio bacteria. And the other shapes, this is not particular any shape, this this is basically a group. This also belongs to the coccus one. As you can see, it is written coccus, and this is basically a gathering, or many cocky bacteria are joined together. And this one is also rod shaped, this one is also rod shaped, and more or less these are the different shapes of bacteria.